My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Shadows over Loathing. It's been a little bit since I recorded the last episode, since the end of the last episode. I got ill 2 times and got evicted, so it's been a dense 4 days. 4 days for me. Alright. So, back in the world of video games, what are we going to be doing about that? Well, scalar wing, vector wing. I think, first off, I still want the battery, right? I want a battery so that I can make a better Chupanaranja trap. Rufus also wants us to find more of the radios around the world. The smart rat, of course, wants more cheese. The distilled fuel returned to Rasmussen, that's something we can complete at any time. The Big Moist Tom, we would just have to go back to the fish mouth and bass. The honey ape, so that's not the Chupanaranja, but that's where I would look for the exact handprint of a person. A Mossman, get some of his moss from the grid. Just don't think I've been to the Moss Rock Grotto yet. The smell of the wisp is going to require me to have good scent armor while I'm walking around. There's the Chupanaranja. Flyman or Manflight or Flemberg, still haven't been there either. Pepperidge Dauphin wants 11 padlocks from their ancestral home in the Big Moist. Alright, and Will Hunter also wants to get dirty fences painted. So, ultimately what did I come here for? I came here for the possibility of, I wonder if that's a puzzle that they're showing up there on the old thing. What we've got is, the orbiting subatomic particles around the nucleus. So that makes them electrons. But all of these look to be basically, similar rings from the center. I was not good at chemistry. Chemistry wasn't my thing. Physics was my thing. You take all these, you put them together, and then you make a trebuchet, and I can tell you, based on the initial conditions, how far that load will fly via the trebuchet. But, honestly, I probably couldn't tell you that anymore. You gave me the equations, though. Oh, I'd give it a good go. I'd only be wrong by like 20%. Maximum. Let's go find our way to the, it's Crystal Dream Lake, I think, that I want to go to. Right, so, and there's a wandering around event, I believe, whereupon I might be able to find for myself a battery. And that's effectively what I'm going for at this point in time. I mean, look, I'll fight y'all. Oh, absolutely happily. I'm gonna do a Jocelyn share. 1 AP left. And then I'm just gonna send Deuce to go bite everyone. I've realized Deuce is just ignoring their armor. That's Deuce's thing, right? Come on, battery. A fuse? Okay, that's the event we're looking for. We're just looking for a different result. Because otherwise, I literally do not know of any way I can get a battery. And I'd like one. I just think it'd be neat. I think it'd be very handy for me to have that. Oh, dang. Oh, wait, never mind. We can polish that off with weapon attack at the very end. Also, I'm gonna get a little bit extra experience while we're doing things like this. Yeah, it's not awful. Just a little bit of a grindy kind of time. I guess technically it's not an eviction, but they decided to raise our rent 95%. So, that's an eviction, maybe. We'll find it. We'll find somewhere. Maybe we'll find somewhere closer to a skate park. Since the last time we moved, I've taken up the habit of skating. So now I have an additional thing to base my options around, because previously it was just like, can it connect to the internet? Y/N. If Y, proceed to move there. There sure are a lot of different plants out here. Do you know a lot about herbs and stuff, Professor? Is any of this useful?
My main focus in the discipline of academic, in the academic discipline of alchemy is on raw elements, not herbology. But I suppose I know a thing or two. See you that willow tree in the distance? Its bark is useful as a cure for headaches.
Yes, derived from the bark of a willow tree, aspirin.
Ah, yes, and these little white and yellow flowers are called feverfew.
For curing fevers?
One might assume so, but actually it's for headaches. Most herbs are for headaches, now that I think of it.
What about these shining leaves?
That is poison ivy. Don't... Oh, you've already eaten it. Why would you do that?
Oh, no, curious.
Well, hopefully the swelling will have abated by the time we reach our destination.
We gain for ourselves 7 experience and move on. Come on. Just let me find another thing I can open. Alright. Wait a second. I think I have seen this one before. I'm just interrupting. Yes. This is how we get the Vampire Skull Cap. Interrupting their fight. Your little trip is interrupted by a pack of those creepy, scuttling little shadow guys. Ugh, I don't know about you, but those guys give me the heebie-jeebies. That'd be a pretty good name for them, though, heebie-jeebies, unless they have an actual name. Although, if they do, it's probably like... or something like that, just not a regular human pronounceable name. Ah, geez, sorry, they appear to have surrounded you while I was talking. Sigh. I fight them. Oh, okay, it's not the Shadow Cultists either. It's the negative space folk. Okay, they are going to take a slight bit more effort for us to delete from the battlefield, but when I say slight, I do mean it that way. Get him with the jazz hands. And then ultimately deuce the toilet gator to clean them up. Get a little bit more oil. Come on, you gotta have a battery in here somewhere. What are you doing? Honestly, the ability to just send out Deuce to do a ridiculous amount of damage after buffing Deuce with Jocelyn Cheer kind of does make me feel like if I just go for a full AP build where like on the first turn I have 2 AP, I can just get Deuce to attack, you know, through armor for 13 6 times on the first turn. It just feels like the right thing to do in terms of power level, kind of a really completely outclassing everything else for us so far. A little bit more about some poison ivy there. We're getting some repeat events, we're just not getting the one that I want. The game is more than happy to be generous in every way except for the way I ask. That's fine. I'm patient-ish. I'm especially impatient when I'm trying to be patient on other people's behalf, or rather, I'm aware of eyes on me, of like, I could complete this faster. I could not be just doing the same events consistently, but I really want the battery so we can make the Chupa Naranja trap to be as good as possible. It's just not necessarily a riveting visual experience on the screen at this point in time. I'm hitting space every so often, I'm getting experience every so often, getting some stylish gel, a couple other things, doing a couple of battles. All the battles themselves seem relatively simple and solved for us. You know. Oh, yeah, you took one of them out. I believed in you correctly. Oi! You know, I'm gonna heal Deuce. How dare you try and kill Deuce? Hey! Okay, well, Deuce now just sapped up a huge amount extra damage for me, so as far as I'm concerned, that's excellent. That everything's being done perfectly there. I mean, look, not my most elegant battle of all time, I'm certain. But it's certainly a finished one. Oh boy. It seems like it's certainly a rarer event. I'm gonna talk to them and learn everything I can about the evolutionary line of vampires and get some experience. Unfortunately, the shadow spiders are not going to be similarly interrogated. Get him, Deuce. Well done, buddy. It seems a little weird, what with your regular physical weapons, that they can damage these weird shadow creatures, but hey, why argue with success? Excuse me? I don't have regular weapons. I have a toilet gator. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna give myself maybe 3 more searches. I'm gonna count them down out loud. And then we're gonna move away from this area for a period of time and try and complete as many things as possible before we have to return to try and do the Chupanaranja. Savvy? Alright. Good work, good damage across targets. 22 poison there. Oh boy. They got me right in the body. That's where I keep my HPs, so not happy they did that. I'm going to need to heal myself in some important fashion, or take out both units on field right now. Restore 2 action points with a handmade pet pill, seems neat. Can't deal more than 4 physical damage at a time, even with a rusty cola can to the enemies here. I can use 5 more items this turn as well, so like, I really should be using items. Stink Bomb, go! And then the next elemental type weapon, Grease Bomb, go! And that'll do it. Alright, 1. I arranged the stones, 7 experience. 2. Check the draw! Okay, well, we're not gonna get another draw immediately afterwards. That's unfortunate. 3 searches, and we are out. Okay, let's actually go to the big boys. I just wanted... Hey. Hold on. Are you Tom and Kathy? Tom Chapman and Kathy Tracy? The boy nods slightly. You can see, he can see you put in the work to remember the surnames, and though you may be at cross purposes, respect must be paid. Who wants to know? I've been looking literally everywhere for you. Oh, really? Lots of times folks say literally and they're not really using it right. You know, when people say it's literally raining on my wedding day, like Alanis Morissette, they're not talking about actual rain. I do actually mean it, though. Oh. Yeah, take a last look. We're on the bus out. Your folks back home think you've been kidnapped. Or eaten. That's so utterly typical. They can't even conceive that someone might not want to live the same small little largemouth bass life that they do. It's not even a life. Not for those of us. Not for us, it's not. The kind of life we want to lead. It's only possible in the city. What kind of life is that? We're gonna make a business making wigs for judges. I don't think judges wear wigs in this country. It's gonna be an international company. That's where the money is. If you want to, if you know anything about business. Is that a job? Yeah, it is. Absolutely is. More power to you, I guess. And to you. Oh. So long as your goals don't conflict with ours. I don't know if you're thinking about starting a wig business. I do need to take you back to your parents. Oh, hell to that. You need to take us back like a bass needs bones. And we're not going back, pal. Not ever. Largemouth bass and stones is a trap. All we ever do there is repeat the same old toxic patterns our fathers did and their grandfathers. Debone the fish, rebone the fish, debone the fish. What's the point even? It's a mindless life. It's never gonna change. No, pal. That's not for us. Better to die in poverty than live a largemouth bass deboner or reboner. Unfortunately, I was hired to bring you home. Listen, friend, we're not going back. There's nothing that nobody can say to make us. Please. Unfortunately, I don't have the 14 Moxie required. Oh, sick! No! No! Occam's Gator! You have no power here! Occam's Gator? That's a real guy? Occam's Gator is... Oh, he's the bane of our lives. Our family's lives. He's haunted us, tortured us, before I was even born. Can he be reasoned with?
Back.
Did you just say Bach?
Miserable back.
We will be miserable if we go back. The Gator sneers. To your surprise, the beast apparently has no intention of eating or killing the children, but means to return them home to Largemouth Bass and Sons. But why? Why would it care? You want them to be miserable?
Oh yes, miserable back.
I don't know what Occam's Gator really wants except our whole family to be miserable. I don't know why else he torments us. What's your problem?
Misery.
You just want to cause misery?
Bass misery.
To Largemouth Bass and Sons specifically. Why exactly?
God.
What? God?
Misery God.
You have a god that wants to cause misery to Largemouth Bass and Sons?
Amen.
What religion is this? How do I sign up? As a haunted person.
Occam's Gator.
Now, you leave these kids alone. Thank you, but there's no shaking Occam's Gator when he gets his mind set to a thing.
Mindset, grind set.
There's gotta be a way to work this out.
Violence.
Apart from that.
Violence and misery.
I'm gonna change Occam's mind with my 8 Moxie. The monster abides by his own obscure ethos, but perhaps you can outthink him. If you let them go, you'll cause more misery to their families. Or Tom and Kathy will actually be more miserable if they leave. I mean, both of those are pretty good arguments. I don't want to make the second argument though. I'm gonna start with the first. If you let them go, you'll cause more misery to their families. If you let them go, you'll actually cause more misery to their families. Largemouth Bass and Sons is totally relying on these children to prop up their failing company. The whole thing's a joke. Without Tom and Kathy, it'll all slowly slide into an irrevocable and long, painful era of decline over which looms the grim terminus of business death. That's, oh, that's true. Occam's Gator seems to be giving it some thought. Just something to consider. A slow smile creeps upon Occam's Gator's face and keeps on growing until it's made a complete ring around his head, which pops off. A smaller Occam's Gator comes out. None of the rest of that happened at the end. Is that a yes? Sorry, no. Can you teach me how to do that? Apparently not. Woo! We did it! I don't know what to say. No one's ever stood up to that thing before. Dad even tried giving him a cut of the business to leave us alone. You mean what you said, though? You think the business will fail without us? I mean, yeah, probably. You know what? No. I had no idea. Oh. We're doing the right thing. If I was 100% sure of that when we left, I'm like now 98% sure, which, you know, it's still very high. Yeah, that's very high. Well, thanks, stranger, anyway, for getting Occam's to take a hike. You gain 99 meat. I accept the meat and nod at Tom. I know it's not much, but... Oh, would you want this? Free sample. It's a judge's wig. Judges wear these wigs to keep their hair from influencing the case. Plus 10 to maximum HP and regenerate 3 HP per round. Enjoy that, but mind you don't combine it with the jury's wig and the executioner's wig. No one man should have all that power. Hold on just now. Are you still trying to take us back to Largemouth and Bass? I'm gotta make a decision. No. You get the bus. I give you my blessing. Thank you, Deacon. Huh? Oh, you said blessing, so I assumed. No, it's fine. It's still just nice to have your blessing. Anyway, thanks. Have a good life, stranger. I know we will. Goodbye, then. It's been an eventful wait for the bus. The notice board barely has anything important on it anymore. That makes sense. Dauphin House is very nearby. Limburg Place. I mean, the location's distance from where we actually are doesn't really matter at all, right? Hardly relevant. Let's go turn in the crash site first. A spot of color in this drab swamp catches your eye, and you spy a pile of withered orange husks in front of a shallow cave. This must be the lair of the Chupanaranja. Fortunately, it isn't home right now. Or since you aren't an orange, maybe it wouldn't be dangerous to you anyway? That almost certainly isn't true. I'm not going to set my trap. I'm going to some other time. I need to create the correct one. It's Rhonda Rasmussen. Hello again, Rhonda. Hi. I got your fuel all cleaned up. No shinola? If there was any in there, I think I got it out. Oh, let's have a look. She opens the can, pours a little wiggle into a wine glass, and swirls it around while peering at it closely. Oh, wow, look at that. No legs at all. Ah, geez, did I mess it up? No, that's a good thing. Means it got rid of all the water. I don't see any dirt in here either. Nice work. Got 10 experience. Thanks. Guess you're all set then? Oh, looks like it. Got my plane, fuel, and runway all sorted out. Thanks a ton. I couldn't have done it without you. You know, you could have a career in aviation if you ever decided to give up, whatever it is you do. I'd rather not attempt to explain it. Oh, gotcha. I've had jobs like that. Well, I haven't got any meat on hand to pay you for time, but let me give you this spare flight helmet as a souvenir. You got an item, a leather aviator helm. A stylish leather helmet which will help convince everybody that you're a celebrity aviator. +1 to mysticality and moxie. Oh, neat, thanks. Oh, you earned it, pal. Keep it flying. Good luck. I say unnecessarily, as Rhonda is already in the air. Just a bunch of miscellaneous plane stuff over here. Looks like that hasn't really cleared anything in this area anew for us, so it is now time to go and resolve something else. This is now the runway rather than the downed plane. Okay, so what do I think would be the most straightforward? Perhaps going to Dauphin House or Flemberg Place. Another would be making sure that I have enough stench armor very quickly, so that if I did happen upon a smelly friend, I would still be able to do some things. So I'm also going to try and upgrade my stench armor via the Flore Photidae. Being a record of a royal botanist's voyage around the HMS Cannibalism to catalogue the world's stinkiest flowers. There's plenty left to sniff in this book if you got the nose for it. In hot July, fruit flies in a group of hundreds descend into the right belly of the largest Venus flytrap they can find, and commence to make frantic love. Truly one of the vilest orgies I have ever sniffed. The rest of the book concerns the running aground of HMS Cannibalism in the Arctic ice, and the descent of the crew into, well, you guessed it. Fortunately, or not, your humble botanist made an exhaustive effort to catalogue all of the associated smells. And I am gonna take just a couple more levels of that. We have a lot of stench armor going now. And in fact, I'm gonna get some cold ones as well from the short stories of Long Winters. Beautiful. All right, back on the travel. Let's head our way to, as I've mentioned previously, Dauphin House first. Distant frog sounds become less distant frog sounds as you find yourself very close to a lot of frogs. I stop out and hang out with them. 100%, obviously. We're going to the frog bog. I'll be damned, those don't sound distant at all.
Buddy, Help, Ribbit. Hey, help, buddy. Help.
The frogs are talking? Speak to the frogs. You clear your throat. There was a frog in it. Maybe don't use that joke when talking to the frogs, though.
Hello, frog. Not Ribbit, not Ribbit, not Ribbit. Humans, Ribbit, not frogs.
I see. You're frogs. Wait, are you saying you're humans, not frogs?
Yes, Ribbit, right, yep, right, Ribbit, yep, right.
You think about it. You think about what it would be like to be trapped in a frog's body. After a few seconds, you stop thinking about it because you don't like thinking about things that fill you with harrowing existential angst. How did this even happen?
Quarry, frog, God, statue, quarry, curse, statue, cave, frog, God.
It's kind of hard to understand you all with everybody talking at once. Could you all stop talking except for one frog?
All, single, share, single, frogs, single voice, single mind, all.
Oh, all frogs share a single mind. Wow, that's incredible. This changes... Actually, you can't think of any significant consequences of what you've just learned. You try to remember the last time you interacted with a specific frog as an individual, and it was, Uh-oh. That biology class. Probably best not to bring that up. What's it like for you?
Hate it, sucks, gross, hate it, Ribbit. The worst, hate it, gross.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. Is there some way I can help you? One of the larger frogs hops up to you and coughs loudly. A shiny green object flies out of its mouth and sinks into the water. I grab it. You roll up your sleeve and plunge your hand into the nasty water. Your fingers find a hard object, which turns out to be, wow, shiny! You got an item, gleaming emerald. This is the most beautiful thing a frog has ever barfed at you. You turn back to the frog. What should I do with this? A second frog approaches and belches up a soggy piece of paper. You decide to just look at it instead of touching it with your hand. It appears to be a shipping label from a nearby quarry. The Heim Quarry.
Luck, Ribbit, good. Luck, Ribbit.
No problems. Let me solve your problem here, friends. You're browsing your way through the swamp, taking a sniff through your nose trumpet every now and then. This swamp smells terrible! I mean, a swamp is literally just standing water and rotting compost, the biome, so it's not like that's news or anything, but you wouldn't be surprised if this swamp was nominated for was at least nominated, rather, for the world's worst smelling swamp. Oh good in heaven, what's that? Something smells like a rotten egg mated with a tire fire, and the egg and the tire fire laid another egg that went rotten. Squinting through the tears, you see a patch of brown air hovering nearby. That must be the smell of the wisp the kid was looking for. I run up and grab it with my 8 stench armor. Holding both your nose and your breath, you run up and snatch the wisp before it can fly away, collecting a clump of air so foul it sticks to your hand. Fortunately, you've got an empty jar that you can scrape it off into. You've got stinky ester, an essential distillation of foulness. Blech. Heim Quarry, help wanted. This guy seems a bit, I talk to him. Hi there. This seems like a strange question, but do you know anything about a curse? Your attitude says no, but your eyes say yes. There's a note on the door. Drive efficiently. Excess gas use will be deducted from your paycheck. Management. Here's the foreman's office. This man doesn't look happy to be a frog. Or the other way around or whatever. I talk to him. Hi there. Nice suit. You look like a fancy guy. I guess you basically won the frog lottery, huh? Alright. Playing on. Okay, they still project their neck in the same way a frog does. Your assumption was correct. It's a bookshelf full of books. I investigate. It's all books on management with titles like Shaking the Invisible Hand, You Deserve More, or How to Get Blood Out of the Turnips You Hired. Oh, this one actually looks pretty interesting. Advanced Scowling. You got an item, Advanced Scowling. A guide to productive frowning. Grants a combat skill, Grit Teeth, heals the target for 5 HP. The remains of a fancy meal with fancy condiments. A painting of a safe. Is this meant to be reverse psychology? I look behind it. You push the painting aside rather, and find, surprise, a safe! Unfortunately, it's a key type safe and you don't have the key. Not that combination lock would have been much better, but you could have twiddled the dial and hoped to get lucky. The foreman's desk, presumably, which I dig through. Ooh. You find a key labeled Mess and a gun labeled Bess in 2 different drawers. The Heim Quarry mess hall key, this is all that stands between a quarryman and his dinner, and Bess, a ranged weapon. This was both the foreman's gun and his wife. There's some papers and stuff, but none of that seems significant to you. Personnel files on everyone who worked or has ever worked at this quarry, I checked them out. You give the files a quick riffle through. They tend to be very thin, people were hired and then quit real fast. There's only a handful of current records and they aren't very interesting. This hat rack is dressed like a cowboy. I take the hat. It's an intimidating Stetson. When you see a guy wearing a hat like this, you think to yourself, that guy's got a good sense of style and is probably about to punch me for no good reason. I like that. Gives the right message, this hat. There's the mess hall, the bunks themselves are already open. Either this is a guy who thinks he's a frog, or the soul of a frog trapped in the body of a guy, or a really good method actor rehearsing for Toad of Toad Hall. I talk to him. Hi, excuse me.
Robert.
Have you seen any cursed frog idols around? He sticks out his tongue as a fly buzzes past and seems confused and disappointed by its length. Oh boy, good luck.
Robert.
I've got the pickaxe as well, so I am trying to be very careful around here in the quarry. I feel like there may be more diggles. All the oil in this lamp has dried up. Huh, there's only one bed. The S on the bunk sign must have been a typo. Some cruel soul turned this radio to static and then walked away. I used Rufus's gadget to turn WGCR, and then I restore the radio to the way I found. Presumably, these lockers are where employees keep their personal possessions. I checked them out. That frog lady's watching and seems real agitated, better leave them alone. Fine, this lady seems real nervous about something. Although the way she's hopping around on the floor makes it difficult to judge her body language in a regular way, I talk to her. Hi, ma'am?
Robert.
Can you tell me, can you communicate to me in any way about a curse?
Robert.
Ah, geez, please don't do that thing with your neck.
Robert.
I'm not gonna stay until they do, but I promised they would. This door is locked so that the food won't escape, presumably. I unlock it and we go in, leaving the key on a nearby windowsill. As advertised, it's a mess. From the looks of the crust on these dishes, the food wasn't very good here even before it was spoiled. This range doesn't even have a gas line connected to it. I guess you could warm something up to room temperature. Looks like these people got so hungry they started eating the cabinet doors. I searched the last remaining drawer and find it basically but a fuse. I was hoping for a battery. Come on, it was so close. The table is swarming with flies. At some point, I think I'm gonna need to collect all of the flies. I know a bunch of different locations in the game have flies, and I'm starting to think about them. It's probably gonna be for this quest, right? Here's another one of those froggy men. Hi.
Robert.
If I asked you if you were a frog trapped in a man's body, would you have any way to answer that question that I would be able to understand?
Robert.
I guess I don't know what I was expecting.
Robert.
All right. I see. It's a crude but large statue of a frog. Looks pretty old. Has a single glowing emerald eye. I I could mess with it, but let's go a bit deeper in first. Judging from the smell and thick cloud of flies, that is not a place for a good time. Let's not go back there unless you have a really good reason. And the game won't even let me. This frog person seems more cheerful about the situation than the other ones you've seen. Hey, don't touch that! Talking... man. That's right, I'm a human man, not a frog at all. I have reason to believe that you're actually a frog in a man's body. Somehow. Well, it's my body now, and I'm keeping it. I don't need any dry-skinned leg walkers coming in here and... holy hop, you got the missing eye. This big emerald? Yeah, I was just noticing it looks an awful lot like the other one. Okay, I absolutely need you to step away from that statue right hopping now. You don't want me to fix it? It looks important. It's very important. It's an ancient idol of a frog god. And when the humans blasphemed against it by removing that eye, this particular human right here, I might add, they were cursed with the great croaking one's righteous fury. Oh, so that's why all the people here are the frogs in that bog nearby. Yep, you guessed it. It's the old Freaky Friday routine. I know of it as the hot chick syndrome. Forget about it. The point is, the humans did the crime and now it's the frog's time to shine. And if I put the eye back? If you put the eye back, it undoes the curse, yeah. Hop, I shouldn't have told you that. Those frogs, people really want their bodies back. Well, so hop and what? Hop them. Jeez, man. Look, take your inherent pro-human bias into account and consider the justice of the situation, okay? These people come in here, rolling with their machines and stuff, tear up our land, spill oil and gasoline everywhere. Then they find this ancient religious icon and the first thing they try to do is loot it. These aren't good people, they got what was coming to them. Well, what should I do? I'll tell you what you should do. Take the other eye up the statue. What? I don't want to be a frog. Nah, don't worry about that, it won't curse you. What it'll do is make the original curse permanent. No takebacks, no do-overs. That's justice, tadpole. Tell you what, I'll sweeten the deal. You can even keep the emeralds. Heck, I'll make a necklace for you. You like necklaces? I'm still getting used to having a neck myself. Well... okay, I'll take out the other eye, or say that but lie. No deal, I want to fix this. Or say that but lie, or I'll think about it. Or say that but lie. I say I will think about it though, legitimately. I'll think about it. Well, considering I haven't really figured out how to work these fists yet, I can't do much to stop you either way. But I'm warning you, if you put that eye back, you're gonna find yourself on the wrong side of history, pal. I think I'll give myself some time to ponder and query over this in between our next two episodes. Until then though, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Shadows over Loathing. Top left is the series playlist for all of my content in the game, past, present, and future. Down below is a YouTube recommendation for what it thinks you should watch next. And streaming past are the names of the people searching and supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Arrow above the thank you. Special thanks this episode to Silly. Hopefully you'll be enjoying yourselves and hopefully we'll see y'all tomorrow.